Hello, now I'm going to teach you and we'll have a video tutorial on the correlation. Now, the last time we discussed on the Pearson R and the Spearman, and maybe you will be having a long way in your manual computation before you arrive with your final answer with the correlation. But in MS Excel, there are a lot of ways on how you're going to compute for the Pearson, most especially for the Pearson correlation. Because Spearman, we need to rank them, right? Okay, now let's have the Pearson function and the Correl function first, and then the data analysis. And then, yeah, Spearman. Okay, first we'll have the X and Y data here. Okay, now for the Pearson, all you need to do is to type equal sign, then Pearson, and then open parentheses. So this will be the array 1. So the array 1 will be the X variable, and then comma, and then the Y will be the array 2, close parentheses, and then enter. So you got negative 0.34. Now for the Correl function, it's just the same. So all you need to do is just to change Pearson to Correl, and then same procedure. So we have the array 1 will be the X variable, and the array 2 will be the Y variable. So don't forget to put comma between the array 1 and the array 2, and then close parentheses, and then enter. Okay. Now for the data analysis function, you just have to do this. Now you go to data tab, and then the data analysis, and then you find correlation there. Okay, and click OK. And then all you have to do is to input the range. So make sure that the cursor is blinking and it's in the input range box. You include the labels, the X and Y labels, and then labels in first row, and then the output range. So let's say the output range. So don't forget to click the box so and see the cursor is blinking. So maybe I want to put it here in E8. And then, okay. And then, there you go. So, it's 3.339. Okay, so that will be your correlation. Okay, now, why is there 1 here? You know why there is 1 and there is 1 here? Okay, so the reason why there is 1 there in the X and Y, it's because when you correlate the X and the X values, okay, so when you correlate it by itself, the result will always be a perfect correlation. So that will be 1. So that's why, and the Y variable, so that's why there's 1. Okay, now let's have the Spearman here. Now, there is no direct Spearman computation for, so there's no suggestion for Spearman. So, how are we going to do it? Let's allot some columns for the ranking because we might want to rank them. So, insert and then another column. Now, first, how are we going to do the rank formula? Okay, so we put our X here and we put our Y here. Okay, now let us do the rank function. So we have equal sign and then rank. And then you see here a lot of functions, but we do the rank. And then open parentheses. What's the number? So our rank, so we want to get the rank of this number, which is 20. And then what's the reference? The reference, you need to highlight all the X column or all the samples in the X column, and the order will be descending. Okay, don't go yet or don't enter yet because Excel will move the numbers here. So if we want to make this number constant, so we put $sign. Okay, so we put $sign here, we put $sign, and we put $sign. Oh, wait, $sign. And then, there you go. And then, you will rank them. So, you just have to drag it or you just have to double click And there you go. Okay, so there are XSS here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the same with Y. You might want to copy this. But you want to change it, so we'll make it C4, and then let's make it C, and we'll make it C, and then you highlight okay, you drag this. Okay, so we'll delete this. Okay, and then there you go. So you have 18 as the highest, etc., etc. Okay, and then how about for the spearman? We have a condition that once you already rank the scores, then you can proceed with the Pearson or Corel function. Okay, so just what we did in the manual computation, once that you already have the ranks or you already rank the score, you can proceed with the Spearman computation. You can proceed with the correlation function or correlation computation, Pearson R computation. Equal sign, we use the Pearson, and then open parentheses, we have the array 1, comma, and then we have the array 2, close parentheses, and then there you go. So see, it's a different answer, or it's different from the Pearson and the Corel. So that's why there's a bearing as to whether you're going to rank the scores or not. Okay, so that's how you're going to compute the correlation using the Pearson function, Corel function, and the data analysis function. Okay, so later on we'll have the interpretation. Okay, so let's have another sample here. Now we want to compute. So here's a sample. Teacher Sally wants to know if her grade 5 students' written exam in English has a relationship with their oral exam. Now compute for correlation in 3 ways. We create a scatter plot and then we interpret the data. Okay, so here I'm going to teach you using the scatter plot, or doing a scatter plot. Okay, now first again, so for the Pearson, we have equal sign Pearson, and then open parentheses, and then the array 1 will be the written exam. Okay, so we have lots of students here, and then next we have the array 2, which is the oral exam. Here you go, and then close parentheses, and then enter. So so it's 0.98. So you wanna round it. So again, round function, as we are having or as we discussed before, the round function. And then we might want it to we might want to decrease them into 2 decimal places, and then there you go, it's 0.98. So Corel function is just the same, Corel. So we get the array 1 here, and then comma, and then we have the array 2 here, and then close parentheses, and then enter. Okay, so again, you might want to round them again. So go back to the function bar, and then type round, open parentheses, then 2 decimal places, close parentheses, and then there you go. Okay, now for the data analysis function, so we might want to have data analysis function. So you go to data, and then data analysis tab, and then you look for correlation, click OK, and then let's clear this. So input range, so you include the label here. Okay, and then group by columns, labels in first row, and I want to see the output range here. Okay, in E9, and then you click OK, and then there you go. So the interpretation, so there's a strong positive correlation. So there's a strong positive correlation as the written exam increases, the oral exam also increases. Okay, and then next, so create a scatter plot. Now, how are we going to compute for the scatter plot? All you have to do is go to insert, and then you'll see here different graphs. So we have here column again, so we have line, so as what we have discussed in the first video tutorial, and then we have the scatter plot. Okay, and I think I want this one. Okay, so it's empty because we we haven't highlighted this one. Okay, so scatter plot, and then oh, it's a positive correlation. So there you go. You can actually edit it if you want. So here, so you can you can use this, or yeah, you can use this. So we have the axis titles. Okay, so data labels, we have data labels if you want. No, not that one. Okay, so we have here, so what's the second one? The second one was oral exam, so you put the oral exam, and this is written exam, so you can change it to written exam, or written exam. And this one, so you can change it into English exam. Okay, so we have English exam. And there you go. So we have here the graph, or the scatter plot. See, it's a positive correlation there. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you're going to do the correlation, or complete the correlation using MS Excel in 3 ways, and then scatter plot. Okay, so we have lots of examples here that you might want to try and practice. Okay, and that's it.